Hey guys, I'm Flubataku. Welcome back, and today we're talking about the Ultraman manga. But before we get into the manga, let's do a brief crash course in the history of the Ultraman franchise. The first entry in the franchise was Ultra Q, which ran for 28 episodes and it ran from 1966 to 1967. And following the success of Ultra Q, Super Eye Productions quickly began to follow up Ultraman. Over the years, there have been dozens and dozens of Ultraman's shows, ranging from Ultraman Ace, Ultraman X, G to Orb, my personal favorite, Ultraman 7. This manga is a direct sequel to the original Ultraman show, and it follows the main character from that show, Shin Hayata's son, Shinichiro. Now, all shows past that point are not canon to this manga. Over 40 years of peace on Earth, and something bad is happening. Aliens are starting to invade. And this is when Shinichiro has an awakening where he unlocks his Ultraman gene. Now this is where the show and the manga differ quite a bit. I don't want to say the manga is more mature, but the themes surrounding this manga are slightly more darker. And some of the aspects of the Ultraman show and the franchise is a little bit more fleshed out, like the whole alien world. You get a good look into them and the whole democratic system that they have in place. And honestly, this is one of my favorite parts of the Ultraman franchise. I am a die-hard veteran Ultraman fan. I have watched dozens and dozens of shows, and I've been picking up every Blu-ray that Mill Creek Entertainment has been putting out recently. And honestly, this feels so special. And honestly, that's all due to writer Ichi Shimizu and illustrator Tomohiro Shimaguchi. What they have done is they kind of westernized Ultraman. And now that may be kind of a taboo thing to hear. Trust me, it works extremely, extremely well. Like the duo sat down and said, hey, let's watch every Avengers movie and let's try to recreate that with Ultraman. And that's exactly what they did. This feels like a fan's wet dream, a mashup, a team up of all these great Ultra characters. You got Ultra Ace coming in. He's a young kid, but he's very, very cocky. You have Ultra Taro coming in as well. He's a Japanese kid living in New York City, and he unlocks some powers as well, which we don't know where they're coming from. You also got Ultraman Jack, and you even got Shin returning and helming the Ultraman suit. But the thing that they've done here, the Ultramen aren't growing super tall and fighting super tall kaiju. No. All the characters are pretty much Iron Man-like suits, and it works extremely, extremely well. I think it works very well is because Tomohiro Shimaguchi is a great mechanical designer. This is the same duo that did Line Barrels of Iron, and they also are doing the reboot slash prequel slash sequel to Getter Robo De-Evolution. These guys know what they're doing when it comes to the mechanical design and aspect of these suits, and they look so damn good. I mean, look how fucking badass Ultra 7 looks. It's just over the top. And my favorite thing about the Ultra 7 suit is that they keep upgrading it, but it never changes numbers. It's Ultra 7.3, which is all this firepower. And guys, this is such a good series. Now, no more jump cuts. I'm going to gush about what I love about this. Is that this story sets itself up for newcomers and veterans alike. The first couple volumes are a little slow if you're a veteran of the series, but this introduces newcomers to who Shin is, his family, why Shinichiro has these powers, and what it means to be Ultraman. And also, there's this really good story, this conflict, a lot of different organizations backstabbing each other and espionage is happening, and you don't know exactly who's a good guy and who's a bad guy. Even Bemular, who's a fan favorite kaiju, gets a mechanical design here, which I love. It's my personal favorite besides Ultra 7. And guys, reading this is a blast. The writing is really good, and the art is phenomenal. Now, the art may not be for everyone, but I am a fan of this duo's work. I think Getter Robo De-Evolution is a blast, and I've read through all the scans of Line Barrels of Iron, and the anime for Line Barrels of Iron is also pretty solid as well. Speaking of anime, this got a Netflix anime adaptation, and it's getting a second season soon, and I can't wait for what the second season adapts, because there is a massive, massive Avengers fight that lasts a handful of volumes, and it's so badass, and I can't wait to see the destruction animated, because it's so well done. Ultra 7 comes in. The guy who is Ultra 7 is a very cocky, kind of a douchey character. But when he comes in with Ultra 7 suit 7.3 and he has all this firepower, he single-handedly takes down a monster. Well, it's more of a mech that was kicking the rest of the group's ass. And there's so many awesome team up shots where all these Ultramen are just hanging out, getting ready to fight, and it's so much fun. And that's what it boils down to. As a fan of Ultraman, this is a lot of fun. And that's all it really needs to be. I don't take Ultraman super seriously. It At its heart, it's a very goofy franchise. But this does have some darker moments. You do see characters straight up get disintegrated, and you do see emotions get tugged at. This is, guys, this gets my highest recommendation. If you aren't a fan of Ultraman, but you're a fan of superheroes, give this a shot, because what this duo has done is westernized it. They have made this friendly for people who are a fan of the Avengers movies, the fan of DC properties, Marvel properties. This is exactly right up those people's alleys. And even though I'm not too much of a superhero guy, I'm a huge Ultraman fan, and seeing this version of Ultraman was a real treat. Now, guys, if you do go into this blind and you've never been experienced to any other Ultraman franchises at all, and you go in and watch one of the shows and you're like, oh, that's kind of hammy and it's kind of goofy. This very much has a different tone to the shows, which can be a problem for newcomers, but for veterans, it is very nice to see. Now, I recommend picking this up, and really give a shout out to Viz as well, because right now there's a little bit of an Ultraman craze going on in the States, because Mill Creek is pumping out high quality Blu-rays back to back of the entire franchise. And Viz was putting this out years ago, and sadly the release schedule has slowed down. We're almost caught up with the Japanese releases. They have 14 volumes, we have 12. I think so far we only have one scheduled for this year, and I really hope we get volume 14, because Ultraman Leo gets introduced here really soon, so I can't wait to see what his lore is, and how because I've read online in some forums that they do some pretty cool stuff with that character, so I can't wait to see. But anyways, guys, I'm Flip Otaku. If you're new to the channel, I would not highly recommend subscribing to me, but I would really appreciate if you guys hit that sub button, hit that like button. I'm almost at 3K, and I'm going to be doing a big giveaway once I hit 3K. Also, give a shout out to my friends, Zach from Uchu Shelf, Alonzi, On the Shelf, Shay Geeks Out, Dynamic Dylan. There's so many people I want to give a shout out to, because I love all you guys. This is one of the best communities on YouTube. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get going. I'm Flip Otaku, and I'll see you guys next time.